In a surprising turn of events, George Clooney, one of Joe Biden's most prominent donors, publicly urged the president to bow out of the 2024 presidential race. Clooney's bold move stirred quite a buzz, and now Anna Navarro from The View has something to say about it.
You know, as I've said here many times, I love Joe Biden, and I'm full of gratitude to Joe Biden today. So, Joe Biden, thank you for everything. Over 54 years of career. So I was sad, you know, in the way that when you see a champion athlete retire, leave it all on the field and walk away into the sunset, that made me sad. It gave me nostalgia. I was also mad because he's been dragged relentlessly for 3 weeks by some people who supposedly were his friends. I hope that a lot of those donors that went out and said all sorts of things about him come back with a big check now. George Clooney, es contigo. You know, I'm grateful to his staff. I am grateful to Jill Biden. They've taken a lot of incoming in the last 3 weeks, a lot of attacks. They have been part of a very stable and steady administration. I will always be thankful. They took us out of the hell that was COVID, and they took us out of the hell that was Trump. For that, grateful till the end of my days.
After Biden confirmed he wouldn't seek re-election, Navarro didn't hold back. She called on Clooney to make a substantial donation now that his wish had come true. On Monday's episode of The View, Navarro voiced her frustration with the A-lister, highlighting the immense pressure Biden faced from his own friends, including Clooney, who seemingly pushed him to step down. "I was sad in the way you feel when a legendary athlete retires, leaving everything on the field and walking into the sunset. It made me nostalgic," Navarro shared, reflecting on her emotions upon hearing Biden's announcement. The episode was charged with emotion as Navarro expressed her anger on Biden's behalf, condemning the weeks of relentless pressure from those close to him. Believe it or not, Biden has become quite controversial lately. Anna Navarro didn't hold back her feelings on The View regarding Joe Biden's decision to step down from the 2024 presidential race. Expressing her frustration, Navarro noted, "I'm also mad because Biden has been dragged relentlessly for 3 weeks by some people who supposedly were his friends." Navarro specifically targeted those donors who had publicly criticized Biden, urging them to show their appreciation with substantial contributions to the party. Directing her comments pointedly at George Clooney, she looked into the camera and declared, "George Clooney, es contigo, this is for you." She didn't hold her word, insisting that these vocal donors owe it to Biden to back their criticisms with financial support.
A few moments ago, obviously he's trying to shore up support with certain parts of the Democratic Party base. But how big of a blow is that to have George Clooney say, you know what, Mr. President, you need to step aside?
Look, it's not great to have someone who just held a very large fundraiser for you to come out and withdraw their support. I think the thing that is really hard about the comments in the letter is not that he is just saying this based off of the debate performance, but he compared the debate performance to his actual direct interaction with the president. And I think that the campaign, everyone who saw the debate a couple of weeks ago have been saying to the president, we need you to prove to us that you are able to do it.
But the discussion wasn't without its dissenting voices. Co-host Sarah Haynes defended Clooney, arguing that his criticism was valid and necessary. You see, there are two sides to every story, isn't it? She referenced Clooney's post-debate op-ed, which questioned Biden's capability to lead and was penned with a sense of reluctance. Haynes emphasized, there is room for criticism when you're talking about the biggest job in the world. And I don't think those people that are friends, even George Clooney's op-ed, was really touching and beautifully written, saying, this is hard to say out loud. Haynes continued to support the idea that these critics were not just thinking of Biden, but the entire party and its future. They were allowed to also speak up for their constituents. So I commend the people that took that risk and said, we need to do this, because I do think that began some very hard conversations. The segment was a mix of strong opinions and passionate defense, revealing the complex emotions surrounding Biden's departure and the pressures from his inner circle. On Sunday, July 21st, Joe Biden announced he would not accept the Democratic Party's nomination to run for a second term as president, a decision that sent shockwaves through political and Hollywood circles. In his announcement, Biden threw his support behind Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic presidential nominee. This endorsement came just weeks after Biden's underwhelming performance in the first presidential debate against Donald Trump, which many speculated was a factor in his decision to step down. As TMZ previously reported, Biden's move to end his re-election bid was met with mixed reactions. Hollywood heavyweights like Damon Lindelof and Aaron Sorkin quickly voiced their support for Harris, lauding the shift in the Democratic ticket. Donors also expressed their enthusiasm, seeing the change as a strategic move to galvanize efforts to defeat Trump in the upcoming election. However, not everyone was pleased with Biden's decision. Trump allies were vocal in their disapproval, with Congresswoman Nancy Mace leading the charge. She controversially called for the invocation of the 25th Amendment, arguing that if Biden was unable to run a campaign, he shouldn't be running the country. If he can't handle the pressures of a campaign, Mace told us on Monday, how can he handle the demands of the presidency? Well, the critics aren't wrong, though. The political arena is abuzz with this dramatic twist, as supporters rally behind Harris and critics question Biden's capacity to lead. With the election drawing closer, all eyes are now on Harris as she steps into the spotlight as the Democratic contender. Following Biden's announcement, Hollywood quickly rallied behind Harris, with many donors feeling excited and motivated about her chances to defeat Trump in November. However, not everyone was thrilled with the news. Trump allies expressed their displeasure, with Congresswoman Nancy Mace even calling for the 25th Amendment to be invoked. She remarked, "If Biden can't run a campaign, he shouldn't be running the country." The buzz around Hollywood's support for Harris and the mixed reactions from political figures added an extra layer of intrigue to Biden's surprising decision. Biden's campaign reported having $95 million at the end of June, but experts disagree on how easily this money could be transferred to a Harris-led campaign. Meanwhile, Harris received a massive boost from small donors, raising over $27.5 million on ActBlue in the first 5 hours of her campaign, according to the fundraising platform. The political drama intensified as Hollywood figures and donors backed Harris, while Republican leaders expressed serious doubts about Biden's capacity to govern, adding more fuel to the gossip surrounding the White House. What do you think about George Clooney urging Biden to drop out of the 2024 presidential race? Share your predictions and thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and want more hot gossip, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for all the hot takes.